Okay. You may have already looked at this and thought, what the heck? So, when we reach the end of like all these different eighth note strumming patterns I like to give you, so you have a nice well-rounded knowledge of eighth note strumming patterns, give you something I like to call a graduation piece. So this is supposed to be a challenge. I kept in mind, using like various chords throughout to help, keep this more at your skill level. So this is something you can do kind of like last time with that long polyrhythm, where if you want just to get used to the strumming pattern and all that, just stick with the first chord throughout the whole bar, and then when you start feeling more comfortable with that, then you can implement all the other chord changes to make it sound even more interesting. So I haven't practiced this thing too much, so we might see me screwing up while working this thing through. This is definitely something that might be easier to not count the whole way, like at the faster speeds anyway. But yeah, let's give her a shot at 60. Let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 3, 4, and 3, and 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 3, 4, and 3, and done. Okay, I'm probably not going to count too much stuff at the next speed. I'm going to go to 80 next. We talked about like the power chord like this and then going into the pinky before. Now, because I have been playing power chords like this for so long, at least the 2-finger version, you may have noticed when I went from this B minor no 5, where's my mouse? There it is. Now it's pointing. So yeah, when I went from the B minor no 5 back to this A5, I landed in this position, and then when I went to the augmented 5th, I just moved my pinky over. So that's what I'm probably going to do again. So you don't need to do that. If you land naturally with your 1st and 3rd when you come back to the start here, fantastic. You're set up to hit that chord more easily. But anyway, here we go. 80 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, here we go. There's mistake number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just thinking, what I'd like you to do when working through this whole thing, actually just do like A5 throughout the whole first bar, and then the C no 5 throughout all of the second bar, and then the D minor no 5 for all of the third bar. You might as well just stay on that chord just to keep it simple for the last bar, unless you'd want to do one of the other chords just to mix it up. So make sure you can do that all the way at 120 before you start adding in the chord changes. I think if you can do that, it'll make transitioning to all the extra changes a little easier. Alright, 100 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the elusive 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you know you can do that? If you hold down some notes, if you tap an octave above that, you can get a harmonic. Kind of a neat thing to do. Alright, so there we go. So we're gonna start doing single note stuff here. So without, I mean, I'm trying to cover a few things here as far as like skill wise, so hopefully this goes well. A video back and forth thing is going to go much better after we have more, well, I'm going to say face-to-face lesson. I mean, we'll say screen to screen. I guess that works. You know what I mean, I think. So I can get a better idea of like where you're at for stuff like this. So, but this is an intro, and it's certainly going to help just kind of get you in the feel for where we're going next. So no need to count as you go with this. Just straight eighth notes. You are going to continue doing the down, up, down, up, down, up the whole time. So strict alternate picking, tapping your foot the whole time. But now, 140 is your goal speed to get to. So working out from 60 to 140. So for demonstration purposes, on this one, the single note stuff is going to be at 60 and 140. That crazy chord thing that you just watched me go through is still going to be demonstrating at 60 and 120. Another thing, keep in mind with that, let's say all the extra chord stuff there is too complicated. I'm not saying I expect it to be, but I'm just saying if it feels that way and you'd rather just stick with one chord throughout the whole thing, that's fine. The main thing I want you to be able to do is be able to count and understand that crazy rhythm there where it's just changing all over the place and it's weird. The extra chord stuff in there is just to add that little bit of challenge if it's needed. So simplify it with the chords as much as you need in order to get through the whole rhythm. That's the important thing. Do more than just one chord the whole time though. Meaning like, you know, one chord through all 4 bars. Do a different chord every bar at least. If you are confused with what I just said, please let me know and I'll try and clarify it better. Alright, here we go. 60 beats a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to go to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the new speed goal of 140. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, there we go. So yeah, any questions at all, please let me know. And I will plan on seeing you at our usual time on Tuesday.